Hey everybody, this is Matt and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for tuning in to another one of our video every day in October 2024 videos. I'm really excited about this one because one, it's timely. Two, I get to show off one of my most favorite machines in the shop. And three, I get to talk a little bit about the good old days. And as I get older and older, the good old days get further and further behind me. And if I don't talk about them, I might forget one day. So in any case, this morning I was watching a short video from Chris at Highline Guitars. And I don't know if he made it like yesterday or this morning, but I saw it this morning, and it was essentially, like how do you become a professional luthier? How did you become a professional guitar builder? Stuff like that. And I'm not 100% sure what the title of the video is, but I urge you to go over to Chris's YouTube channel, and I don't know if you guys know this, you can like search his short videos, search his live videos, search his videos from whatever timeline you want. Look at playlists, that kind of thing. You can do that on my channel too. But anyway, Chris had some really good points, and he said, of course, you can go watch his video. Don't take my word for it. But basically, what he said was, you can watch YouTube videos, you can go to the library, or you can buy books, or do this, that, or the other. But a really good way is to go to a guitar building school like Roberto Venn. Now, as you guys probably all know, I went to Roberto Venn in 1989 and I had a great experience there. I loved it. I was 18, so I guess I've been a guitar builder since I was 18. And but I said, hey Chris, this is a terrific video, in the comment section of his video. I said, this is a terrific video. Having said that, I don't use any of the techniques that I learned when I was at Roberto Venn. So I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I actually do, kind of. So I'm going to show you how something that I use to do the back of my headstock, and it's exactly the same way we did it when I was at Roberto Venn. There's a caveat. You have to have the same tool that we had at Roberto Venn. Don't worry, I'm going to talk to you guys about that. Yesterday, my video was calling out another guitar maker, and I don't mean like I'm calling you out. I mean like it's a cool way to say, hey, I'm acknowledging some other guitar maker, and I hope that you watch this and maybe you'll make a video too. So I'd like to call out Chris from Highline Guitars. By the way, I have every intention of doing this video even before I came up with this idea for this one. But I want to call out Chris from Highline Guitars and maybe have him tell me something that he does the same today as he did the very, very first time. And I think that'd be a cool, fun video, and I know that I would like to watch that. I'd also like to ask Chris, because we live in mostly the same community, we live in the greater Denver metro area. Chris, if you would ever like to come to my shop, and you would ever like to make a live video with me, or you'd ever like to work in my shop for a little bit, or maybe we can do a collaboration video where like you come here and build something using my stuff, or I go to your place, something like that. I would love to do that. And but that's no pressure. I realize that people have other things that they're up to, but Chris, if you ever want to do that, the door is always open to you. Okay, so enough with that. More talk, less action. Or wait, more action, less talk. I'm so good at making videos. Okay, so the only thing that I still do the same as I did when I went to Roberto Venn is shape the back, or rather thickness my headstocks, and I thickness off using the face of the headstock as the flat part, and then I thickness the back. That does two things. One, it makes a nice parallel thickness headstock using the tool I'm fixing to show you, and it establishes my volute area. So this is very close to, if not exactly the same stuff that we did when I was at Roberto Venn in 1989. I don't know if they still have all those old tools, but if they do, they probably still do some of that same stuff. So the tool that we're going to use is my old man machine. Now the reason we call it the old man machine is because I bought it at an estate sale many years ago, and this was built by someone who took a lot of pride in what they were doing. I can tell a lot about the person who built this just by how they built it. And I've got videos on this. We made a whole gob of them. But this is a thickness sander, and it's an old school thickness sander. The most important part about this thickness sander and what we're going to do with it today is it allows me to push the material in. There's no automatic grabber arms that tug the piece through like on a modern thickness sander. But more importantly, there's no abrasive belt that will eliminate the ability for me to pull it back out the other side. In other words, I don't have to push it all the way through. So I can use the, again, I can use the face of the headstock as my flat, and then I can push it through the sanding drum, which is all homemade on this thing. And I can thickness my headstock exactly perfectly right. I say this is all homemade. You know, the tools that we used at Roberto Venn in 1989, the thickness sanders that we used there for this and everything else were this same kind of shop-made tool. They were a little wider, but that's it. So anyway, when I bought this machine, I really lucked out because I didn't have to buy one, and it was ready to go. And I think I spent $50 on it. Best $50 I ever spent on a guitar building tool. Okay, so let me show you what we're going to do and what it's going to look like, and well, that'll be fun, won't it? All right, as you guys can see, I've got a piece of MDF here that I'm going to actually attach my neck to. The reason being is I want to use the flat part of my headstock, and I have a fretboard here. So if I do that, it's going to go in kind of cattywampus at an angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some double stick tape, and I'm going to attach my headstock to this thin piece of MDF, and making sure that my fretboard is not on the MDF. Okay, so it's going to look a little like that, and then that will allow me to push the piece in up to the desired location, and then pull it back out without riding on the fretboard. Okay. I'm going to put some witness marks on the back of my neck here so I can make sure that I'm sanding correctly. And I want to come back to this line right here. In other words, I want a thickness from the tip of the headstock all the way to this line, because that will put my volute in the spot where I want it to be. Okay. By the way, using this on a neck through guitar is quite a bit more difficult than using it just on if the neck stopped here. I don't have a bunch of body dangling around. Okay. So let's get this guy set up and get it close. I'm going to turn the vacuum on, and I'll show you what it looks like. So as you can see, all of my witness lines are gone, and I've come all the way back to my volute area here. Now, what I still have to do is make sure that my headstock is the right thickness. I can tell already that this is still way too thick. So I'm gonna push it through again, over and over and over again until I get it the right thickness. By the way, I have engineered a set of custom-made calipers here, and by the time, I don't know if you can see that long line there, by the time that line lines up, I will be the right thickness. Okay, so as you can see, my headstock is now the same thickness all the way down. It is parallel to the face of the guitar headstock, and my volute is just about exactly where it needs to be. I still have some shaping to do around here, so we'll clean up the volute area a little, but that's it, gang. Again, I'd like to thank Chris from Highline Guitars for making the video that inspired me to do this. And I'd like to once again extend an invitation to Chris and to, at the very least, make a video letting us know what one of the things that he still does today that he did when he first started is, because I think it's a fun topic. And again, Chris, if you ever want to come by my shop and see what's happening and maybe make a video with me, I'd like to extend that offer to you. So, gang, I hope that you liked this video. Couple of things. The Old Man machine isn't exactly the most user-friendly machine to use, especially when you've got a bunch of neck-through meat dangling in the breeze up here. Because as you can imagine, if you pull up at all, you put a big groove into the back of the headstock. So you have to be very cognizant to push the piece in flat and then retract it flat as well. But if you can do that, that old school thickness sander is pretty terrific. So if you like this video, give me the thumbs up, you know, hit the subscribe button, stuff like that. If you appreciate the content that we put out, you might want to consider going over to our Patreon page or even joining on YouTube. Even $1 a month goes a long way to helping us bring you cool stuff like this, even if it's not every single day, and even if it is. So anyway, gang, until next time, this is Matt at Texas Toast, reminding you that if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what I did. That's what Chris did. And until next time, have a great week, everybody.